10-7, RJ Choppy, a team that you despise and hate so much, is already back.
Already back. I mean, it took literally no time for them to get already back. They won. They had their over-the-hill moment when they took on Ryan Tannehill and the Tennessee Titans. And then the Cam Newton era and the Mac Jones. They went through 2 eras in 3 years. And now they're back. And the New England Patriots tore it down, rebuilt it, and made it back to a Super Bowl somehow. And the Cowboys are sitting here 2 generations later, still nothing. Not even a conference title game. It's depressing. It's depressing. And Bob Kraft, this is Bob Kraft. It's all him. I'm putting it all on him now. It's not Bill. It's not Tom. It's Bob. It's another single syllable name, short name, very nondescript. Bob. Bob is the reason. Big Bob. Bobberino.
Yeah, okay. I'll always take any endorsement of the name Bob, sure. Yeah. But no, I mean, slow down with all that credit right there. Look, when you have the benefit of playing in the same division as Josh Allen, you're going to be able to stack some dubs. You're going to be able to win in January. This was, it felt a year early to me, the success that they were having, but it's something where they've proven themselves to be the most, again, same sort of thing as we were talking about with Seattle. They were the most consistent, stable team in the AFC this year. So what we ended up with was the 2 teams that were the most consistent, the most stable. It's just the question was always, did New England beat anybody that was any good? We didn't know that, and
right.
They still ultimately,
and we still don't.
Ultimately they haven't. Yeah.
They went from 3 and 4.
I haven't seen the spread. I would assume Seattle's a significant favorite in the Super Bowl.
I saw it either 3.5 or 4, depending on where you're at. But they went from 3 and 14 to the Super Bowl, and they went through Justin Herbert, who's soft, and then
Don't go through the whole segment yet. Don't blow up the whole segment yet.
Okay.
Well, we got a schedule, but it is a 4-point spread, and I was wondering whether it'd be a little bit higher than that. I hope they get their Ollie, cover your ears. I hope they get their ass kicked. Whoever won the NFC Championship, I want them to dominate. I want them to destroy. Please don't have New England win this thing. They don't deserve it. They haven't played well enough in the postseason. We talked about their regular season schedule, but let's talk about the actual game. 10-7, and Choppy, I do have to admit, man, I was starting to agree with you there in that second half when it was clear that everyone was just playing to punt. That's all that was. Yeah. PTP, not a primetime player, baby.
No.
That was playing to punt. And I was like, man, I'm waiting for the NFC Championship game to get here with the good weather so I can see actual ability.
Yeah, that wasn't even R2P2. That was R3P1. That's all that was. That was a crime against football, the second half of that. That was a crime against football. And,
it turned quick. The only thing Romo did get right in that game, it turned quick.
Yeah.
That was fast. I love the timeline that CBS did over the field, and then, boom, all of a sudden we're getting white lines out there.
So did they know it was going to be that bad? Did they have no idea? Did the coaches not know? Going into the game, what was the forecast and everything, right?
I wish I would have known to bet the under with you. That's for 100%.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, that was. Denver's crazy with weather anyway, but that was a crime against football to purposely throw the ball away on third down. That was not a play designed to get yards. That was a play designed where if the defender falls down, the guy's wide open. Okay, then throw it. Other than that, you are just throwing the ball out of bounds. That was awful. That was again, it's a crime against football to have that in a conference championship game.
It was bad. It was not enjoyable football to watch. I still don't know. Look, we're going to be able to compare legacies significantly between Sean Payton and Mike McCarthy as we move forward, as we found out. But that was Mike McCarthy-esque from Sean Payton there, calling Jarrett Stidham on that final drive to just chuck up 2 deep balls, to attempt to throw 2 deep balls.
What'd you want him to do? I saw that in your email.
Run the ball. Run the ball.
Did you watch the previous 18 drives?
I did, but what are you going to do? You know if you throw the ball, it's getting picked. Or you're going to get sacked. And that's exactly what happened. It was an awful call. Reach deep in your bag, Sean Payton, for the best running plays that you designed. No, he doesn't. You know why? Because he's too distracted arguing with some intern at the Denver Collegiate or whatever to actually worry about designing plays. But if he would have designed plays like Mike Vrabel, you saw when the snow changed, when it got to be really heavy, New England could run the ball. They went out there. They finally were able to run the ball the second half, and that was a big difference.
I felt like there were enough possessions going back and forth to prove that nothing was happening with your standard, boring, generic off. Everyone was playing the punt. Everyone was trying to run. I was like, screw it. What the heck? They probably aren't expecting you to throw a deep ball or a bomb. They did it twice, though.
Yeah, and they did have the wind with them. In that fourth quarter, Denver had the wind at their back, so a little bit more, conducive to scoring, but still, it's brutal conditions.
I will say Tracy Wolfson was awesome with that report in the fourth quarter where she's like filming it one way and she's like, now turn around, and she's like physically showing you what the difference looks like on two sides of the field, where she had the cameraman rotate with her and she's like, do you like, this is what they're going into here. If you turn around, this is what they're going into. I thought that was actually really good from her.
Who's winning the game if we don't get the blizzard?
God.
Denver looked ready. Denver in that first half looked like they were going to win that game.
Yes, they did. But things slowed down, and it was like, would New England get going offensively? Stidham all of a sudden backtrack. You got the controversial turnover, which we'll discuss. I was just wondering if you guys were like, the weather screwed someone in particular.
Honestly, I thought either the Broncos kind of were lucky the weather came in. After the second half hit, the first half, after their TD, they went punt, turnover, fumble, punt, missed field goal. Vrabel figured out something with what to do against Stidham. I think the weather actually kept the game a little closer. I think New England would have won by a bigger margin.
I thought that Denver's only shot was, look, Palmer came on here and told us on Friday, air it out. They're going to air it out. They're just going to. They're going to throw it. And early on, that's what they looked like they were going to do. They had the big shot to Mims. New England didn't look like – what was it? New England got the turnover from Stidham, but before that, they didn't have any plays in the red zone for the entire first half. That was the first time they played it, they called any plays inside the red zone, whereas Denver had 12 already. I think if anything, you're Denver and you're looking at that and going we had a game plan where we thought, all right, here's how we're going to manufacture some stuff. And then when the snow came along, it was just okay, this is throwback football, and we're running the ball. And New England was able to run the ball, and Denver couldn't.
Pepe, who are you rooting for in this one, and who do you think the blizzard helped or hurt?
No, I think they helped the Patriots. Like Bobby said, the Broncos, they were alive in that first half. Their one big mistake was, I think, going for it on that 4th and 1. They could have gone up 10-0. They didn't do that, and so they gave Drake Maye, the ball back, and he was able to go down and score. But, I was rooting for the Broncos. I was done with the Patriots. They turned this thing way too quick. They were able to break it all down, build it back up, break it down again. It seemed like then still make it back to the Super Bowl. It's frustrating to see that when I'm having to wait over 30 freaking years for the Cowboys just to make it to the conference title game. So I want the Patriots to get blown out in the NFC or in the Super Bowl. That is, but I was rooting for the Broncos, and I picked them too. I picked the Broncos. I told you guys I was like, okay, I'm going to give them a chance, and I thought they were going to pull out a close one, but they lose a close one.
Maye's legs, I thought, were the difference in this one. 10 for 65 on the ground and a touchdown. I think Nance had the stat. 7 rushes of his, 6 of them went for first downs. And then you had the touchdown as well. And thankfully, we got what we wanted from the fake comeback merchants throughout the year, Bobby. Chicago and Denver, you can now rest in peace. Bye-bye. See you later.
Yeah, they're done. They're over with. This is what happens. Look, you may get all the way to the Super Bowl. It's possible. You can get all the way to the Super Bowl. You can get all the way to the conference title game. You will not win the Super Bowl if you're one of these fake, always sneak out of here with a 5-point victory every week. The NFL eventually comes and gets you. And like I said, we've seen it get all the way up. Philly got up there as a fraud a couple years ago, loses to Kansas City. Last year, turnabout is fair play. Kansas City gets up there as a fraud and finally loses. So eventually it'll catch up to you. Now we've got 2 actual legitimate football teams playing.
Is Denver playing in the Super Bowl with Bo Nix?
No, Denver is not scoring a touchdown with Bo Nix because he doesn't throw that 51-yarder to Marvin Mims.
Oh, man. No, I mean, maybe the way the game was yesterday with the snow.
The running.
Yeah, and in normal conditions, probably not.
Did you guys see the reaction shot after the Marvin Mims touchdown? If they're like, and Bo Nix up in the booth watching it, and him looking, there were thoughts on the internet of like, oh, that dude is high on painkillers. He is not.
Oh.
You watch him, and he just has this like slight smile. It looks like he does not know where he is.
Well, I didn't know if he was totally, truly happy, but I guess that makes more sense.
Yeah, he just broke his ankle. He probably had some Vicodin or something, just trying to, and was just not exactly sure what he was watching.